Alright guys, so this is a video editing the correction the error that I made in the previous video for 7.2 number 3b. So in this question we were figuring out the discriminant, then we were figuring out the x-intercept, and then we were figuring out the y-intercept. And the mistake that I made occurs right here. I changed the sign here on this side, but for whatever reason I did not change the sign on that side. So this should have been plus x minus 2, and which would give me 3x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. So that was the mistake that I made. Everything else kind of will follow a similar process. It's just these signs will end up changing, will flip. I can suspect the reason why I did this, and I think that that's the value of watching these two, is not only to see how to actually solve to get to the correct answer, but what are some potential mistakes that even I make. And the potential mistake that I see here that I made was really, it's just the mind works running faster than the hand. So usually when I look at this, I just think flipping the sign. So I was thinking flipping the sign. So when I saw this, I was flipping this. So the point being that when you take a test, if you have extra time, make sure that you go back through every single problem. When I was a student, that's exactly what I always would do. I'd be the first one done. And then I would redo the entire test because I knew I was going to make a mistake somewhere. So editing, while it's not the funnest thing in the world to do, it is very, very, very important. So go back through. We all make silly mistakes all the time. And hopefully we can catch it by going through it the second time. Okay, so let's actually solve this. So I'm actually just going to plug straight back into the quadratic formula. So we have the quadratic formula right here. A is 3, B now is 1, and C is negative 2. So we'll have negative B, so negative 1, plus or minus square root B squared, so 1 squared minus 4A is 3, C negative 2, all over 2a, and a is 3. So if I solve this, what I end up getting is negative 1 plus or minus 1. Now what's interesting here is that this, because we have negative negative, this becomes a plus. This is 12 times 2 is 24 over 6. So this becomes negative 1 plus or minus square root 25 over 6, which is nice because it comes out to be a perfect number. Negative 1 plus or minus 5 over 6. And this will break down into two situations. We'll have negative 1 plus 5 over 6 and negative 1 minus 5 over 6, which breaks down to 4 over 6, which is 2/3. And this side breaks down to negative 6 over 6, which is negative 1. And so these are my answers. Okay, so the other question was, what is the y-intercept? Hopefully what you realized from the video was that the y-intercept is, so let me rewrite this. This is 3x squared plus x minus 2. The y-intercept is the number by itself. Because if this equation is, let's say this is y equals 3x squared plus x minus 2, or we said the y-intercept is when x is 0, what happens to y? Well, if x is 0, this is going to go away, this is going to go away, and I'm going to be left with just negative 2. So the y-intercept is always the constant, it's always the number by itself, in this case, negative 2. So there you have it. So hopefully you yourself are being careful and double checking your work, and this makes perfect sense to you. In any case, let me know in the comments, and I'll make another video if I need to, but hopefully this is clear. I'll see you guys in the next video.